I'm Anil Kumar, and in this video we will discuss characteristics of relations. In the previous video we talked about a trick to figure out whether a relation is a function or not. So we had 6 examples. This is the very first one. Instead of just writing domain and range, we are going to discuss few more characteristics about the given relation. So we have y equals to x minus 1 divided by 2, and the question here is determine whether each relation is a function or not and list their characteristics including domain and range and behavior, increasing, decreasing interval, symmetry, etc. So there are range of characteristics which we can discuss for the given function in this case, right? So we have y equals to x minus 1 divided by 2. So this relation we can just rearrange a bit and rewrite this as y equals to half of x minus half. Is it okay? Now that clearly is a line, right? So this represents a line. So let me sketch the line so that we can discuss more characteristics about this relation. The line will be slope of half and the y-intercept is minus half. So let me just draw a line kind of like this. Okay. So all my sketches will be rough, as you will exactly do in your test papers also. Okay. Now this point here should be minus half, the y-intercept, right? And the slope is half for us, right? So that means this point should be 1 for us, right? So that should be 1. That gives us a slope of plus half. So this is x-axis, this is the y-axis, and that's the origin for us. Correct. So this line represents the given relation, and if you draw a vertical line anywhere, it intersects only at one point, and therefore it is a function, right? So let me write down here this line, and this is a function, right? It is a function since a vertical line, if I draw anywhere, it will intersect only at one point. You see that all these vertical lines intersect only at one point. So vertical line as it passes. That really means that for each and every value of x, we have only one value of y. So all values of x are connected with just one value or uniquely connected with a value of y. Okay. Let's talk about characteristics. Amongst the characteristics, domain and range is kind of most important. We can say there are no restrictions. X could be any value. As far as the range is concerned, it goes from minus infinity to plus infinity. So we can say domain is x belongs to real numbers, right? And range is also all real numbers. So y belongs to real numbers. So that is first thing. Now other behaviors are, what is the end behavior? So let me discuss end behavior. It is very important characteristic. End behavior is what happens to the graph of the function as x value approaches large negative value, right, which is represented by negative infinity, and what happens when x approaches positive infinity, large positive value. So from here clearly we can see as x approaches large negative value, y also approaches large negative value, right? When x approaches a positive value, y approaches a positive value. Higher the values, higher y value. So both approaches to positive infinity. So that is the end behavior, right, of the given function. We also notice here that the function is always increasing, right? So the function is always increasing in its domain. But these are key characteristics, and then we can also find x and y intercepts. Here the x-intercept for the function is when y is equals to 0. At that time x is 1. So x-intercept is x equals to 1, and y-intercept is at y equals to minus half, right? So these are a few characteristics which we can say about the given function. I hope that helps, right? You could also say the interval when the function is positive or negative. That is also a characteristics at times needed. So what we say is the function is positive when x is greater than 1. So this line which is above the x-axis, it is positive, and it is negative for x value less than 1, right? So at x equals to 1 it is 0. On either side the sign changes from negative to positive as the function is always increasing. So these are a few characteristics which you could also highlight for any line. I hope that helps. Thank you and all the best.